The infamous murder house was built in 1922 by an acclaimed surgeon, Dr. Charles Montgomery. He built the house for his wife Nora and their son, Thaddeus. Charles battled a drug addiction and developed a Frankenstein complex, where he would experiment on animals in the basement. To earn some more money, Nora and Charles opened an illegal abortion clinic. Nora would send in young women to receive abortions from Charles, and they would all be sworn to secrecy to never tell a soul that they were pregnant or that they had an abortion. But one of their patients let the secret slip, and the father of the aborted baby took his revenge by kidnapping Nora's and Charles's baby. Days later, the police showed up to the house with Thaddeus's dismembered body. Charles attempted to bring his child back to life by sewing him back together and giving him a new heart. He tells Nora to go up to the nursery to find her son. When she does this, she finds Thaddeus, a creature that craved blood and flesh rather than her milk. Charles had turned their son into a monster. After attempting and failing to kill the creature that was once her son, she went downstairs and shot Charles in the head, and then shot herself. In 1947, the house is owned by a dentist called Dr. David Curran. One day, a young actress stops by to get some dental work done. She claims that she's short on cash, but heard that Dr. Curran accepts other methods of payment, and says she is willing to do whatever it takes in exchange for her dental work. Dr. Curran makes no mention of his intentions with her, but he places a mask over her mouth, and while she's unconscious, he sleeps with her. When he stops, he realized that he had left the mask on for too long, and finds that the young actress is now dead. In a hurry, he takes the body into the basement, where he finds Dr. Charles Montgomery, who says he can help make the body more portable. Dr. Curran dumps the dismembered body in a field that is later found by a woman on a walk with her child. This unsolved case was later named The Mystery of the Black Dahlia. In 1968, the house is inhabited by Gladys and Maria, two nursing school students. One day, a man that was later revealed to be R. Franklin stops by the house. He knocks on the door and claims that he was injured and in need of help. While aiding him, Maria discovers that he is not actually injured and tries to run away, but she was too late. Franklin forces Maria to wear a nurse's outfit and then stabs her multiple times, killing her. This was after he drowned Gladys in the bathtub. 10 years later, in 1978, two twin boys, Troy and Brian, pay a short visit to the murder house and go inside despite being told by a young girl that they would die in there. The boys were lured into the basement, where they were viciously killed by Thaddeus, the son of Charles and Nora. In the year 1983, the house was lived in by a family. The wife, Constance, finds her husband Hugo having an affair with their maid Moira. She shoots her husband multiple times in the chest, and then turns to Moira and shoots her in the eye. She then proceeds to bury Moira in the back garden. She did not, however, want to bury the two together, so instead she fed Hugo to the dogs who she cared for in her basement as a part of her doggy daycare business. In 1994, a man named Larry, his wife, and his two daughters had moved into the murder house. Larry began to have an affair with Constance, who had moved next door. One day, he told his wife that her and the girls should move elsewhere, but the wife did not take the news well. She proceeded to go into the girls' bedroom and set fire to it, burning all three of them alive. Later that year, Constance and her three children moved back into the murder house with Larry. One of Constance's children, Beau, was disfigured and was forced to live in the attic until he was murdered by Larry under Constance's orders. Tate, Constance's other son, breaks and goes to where Larry works and lights him on fire. Tate then proceeds to go to his high school, where he shoots and kills 15 of his classmates. The SWAT team rushed to the murder house, where they shot Tate in his bedroom. Skip to the year 2010. A couple, Chad and Patrick, move into the murder house. Their plans didn't go well, and Patrick began seeing other men. The couple then try and flip the house and go their separate ways. But they are murdered by the Rubber Man, aka Tate, on the night of Halloween. Tate's reasoning behind this was because he had promised to give Nora a baby and had heard Chad and Patrick talk about adopting a child. But when he saw that they were going to go their separate ways, he killed them, so another family with a baby would move into the house. Now, in the year 2011, the Harmons move in. Dr. Ben Harmon, Vivian, and their daughter Violet moved from Boston to LA after Vivian had a miscarriage and Ben had an affair with one of his students. They move into the restored mansion, unaware of its history and the ghosts who haunt it. Violet starts her new school where she's terrorized by a group of girls. Ben, a psychiatrist, starts seeing patients out of his home. One of his patients is a possibly psychotic boy named Tate, who befriends Violet. Vivian rehires the house's former housekeeper, an elderly Moira who appears young and attracted to Ben. Eventually, Vivian finds out that she is pregnant and tells Ben, but shortly after, Ben gets a phone call from his ex-mistress Hayden, who tells him she is also pregnant, and tells him that she needs his support for an abortion. Ben lies to Vivian and goes back to Boston to see Hayden. A trio of serial killer enthusiasts break into the house to reenact the brutal murders of the two nursing students, Gladys and Maria. Violet and Vivian are the intended victims, but manage to escape their captors, who become lost in the house. Tate and the ghosts of the house take care of the intruders. Upon hearing what happened, Ben leaves Hayden at the clinic and rushes home. When he gets home, Vivian tells him that she wants to sell the house. Later, Hayden shows up at the house and tells Ben that she plans on keeping the baby and wants to move close to Ben and continue the affair. After showing up again, Ben takes her outside to calm her down, but she's killed by Larry, who thinks he's doing Ben a favor and tries to convince him to leave the house with his family. Larry then buries Hayden's body in the back garden. The Harmons hire an interior designer to come to the house to help it sell, mistaking the arrival of Chad and Patrick as the designers, unaware that they were the former owners who were murdered in the house by the rubber man. Vivian confronts Ben about phone calls with Hayden, but Ben swears that Hayden is gone. Later, the baby begins kicking, an impossibility at 8 weeks. At the hospital, an ultrasound reveals that the baby is more developed than it should be. Ben answers a knock at the door to find Hayden's ghost standing there, covered in dirt. Violet and Tate go on a date to the beach, where Tate tells Violet that high school was terrible for him. 5 mangled, bloody teens appear and harass Tate, prompting the couple to leave. Hayden confronts Vivian, and both are shocked to learn that the other is pregnant. Hayden attacks Vivian, but is stopped by Ben, who is forced to reveal that he impregnated Hayden months after Vivian found out about the affair. Afterwards, Hayden is arrested. The mangled teens find Tate and Violet again, but Tate protects her by making them chase him. Constance, the next door neighbour, takes Violet to her house and tells her that Tate is her son. Violet goes online to find out about Tate's past, and learns that the teens who harassed them were his classmates who he murdered before he was killed by the SWAT team. Constance explains that Tate is unaware that he is dead, and that's why she sent him to see Ben, so that he could get some help. Violet attempts to confront Tate, but is mobbed by the other ghosts. Overwhelmed by her dad's affair, her mum going crazy, the house, and now Tate, she attempts suicide, but Tate saves her. Ben finds Larry's house and confronts him, and finds out that Larry wants the house to live with Constance. Vivian finds out that she's pregnant with twins, and Hayden and Nora Montgomery conspire to drive Vivian insane so they can take the twins. Ben receives a call from Vivian's OBGYN telling him that the twins have separate fathers. Ben finds a rubber mask and realizes the possibility that Vivian could have been raped. Moira then tells Constance that Tate, dressed in the rubber suit, raped Vivian and is the father of one of the twins. Ben and Violet start to argue about her school attendance, and ends in her reluctant agreement to return on the condition she switches school. Ben starts to check out boarding schools for Violet, and upon hearing this, Tate takes measures to keep her around, ending in showing Violet her own corpse in the house's crawl space. Violet had actually died from her suicide attempt, despite Tate's attempt to save her. Vivian goes into labor, and the ghosts of Charles Montgomery and the student nurses, Gladys and Maria, help to deliver the baby. Vivian has great difficulty giving birth to the twins, losing one to stillbirth, while the other one causes her to bleed internally. Violet comforts her mother and tells her to join her. Eventually, Vivian died and joined Violet. Violet, after finding out by Chad that Tate was the father of one of the twins, confronts him and tells him to leave her alone. Ben, feeling lonely, plans to commit suicide, but the ghosts of Vivian and Violet encourage him to take the living twin and leave the house for good. During his attempt, he is killed by Hayden, who hangs him from the chandelier. Constance takes the living twin, while Nora Montgomery keeps the stillborn. 3 years later, Constance comes home and finds a trail of blood on the floor, leading to the bedroom of the living Harmon twin. Now 3 years old and looking much like Tate. He has murdered his nanny and is sitting on a rocking chair, smiling up at Constance. Hi guys, I hope you enjoyed this video. This is my submission for the challenge YouTube of Horrors, so please remember to check the description down below to vote on my fellow competitors as well as a chance to win a stuff pack of your choice. There are stats on how to vote and links to all of my competitors' YouTube channels down below, so please remember to check it out. I did try and create this house to be as accurate as possible. I know it isn't 100% right, but I did try my best, but I hope you guys enjoyed it either way. If you did, please give this video a thumbs up, it will mean a lot, and subscribe to my channel. And hopefully I will see you in the next video. Bye!